The SEC, we know, is the governing body of the U.S., led by this guy, this handsome fellow right here, Gary Gensler, who taught a lot of classes at MIT, so obviously very smart. Also someone that has a net worth of over $100 million. $100 million, so obviously very rich. But there's a lot of controversy around his wealth and his power, and now it seems like there's no limits on his jurisdiction because he and the SEC just declared that all of Ethereum is his, under his control. All of Ethereum, not just the project itself. Every project, every token, every dApp, every DeFi project, everything that is ERC20 based on top of Ethereum belongs to the SEC. So he just made that declaration. Okay? It's a big declaration considering the CFTC already declared that they're taking over Ethereum along with Bitcoin because Ethereum is a commodity, right? SEC, before Gary, declared that Ethereum was a commodity. But you know what? Gary seems to have changed his mind. He now believes Ethereum is a security. And not only that, every project within Ethereum is also his. Every single one. And here's his justification. Okay? So, there is another project from 2018 called Sparkster. I don't really remember it, but it was one that was pumped up and created and sold by an influencer, Ian Bolania, which at the time in 2017, 2018 was very, very big. He is also the one that supposedly left his private keys within a cloud service, and hackers stole it and he lost all his crypto, supposedly. Don't know if that's the real thing or he just didn't want to pay taxes, right? But anyways, the SEC has settled with Sparkster. Sparkster is going to pay $35 million, basically shut down, destroy all their tokens, and this and that. But in addition, the SEC is suing Ian Bolania because of this and improper disclosure in terms of how much he actually held and all this other stuff, right? But within this lawsuit, people are digging, and this is the section that says they control Ethereum, and I will explain. All right. Okay, let's just read at the last point. Well, I'll read the whole thing. The U.S.-based investors in Bolania's pool committed to transactions when, from within the United States, they sent their ETH contributions to his pool. At that point, their ETH contributions were validated by a network of nodes on the Ethereum blockchain, which are clustered more densely in the United States than any other country. As a result, transactions took place in the United States. So what does this mean exactly? Well, the SEC is making the case that since majority of the nodes and the miners were in the United States, okay, even though not all, just a majority of it was in the United States, and in fact, it's not even a majority, but the largest chunk was in the United States. Because of that, any transactions that were processed on the Ethereum blockchain belongs to the SEC and belongs within the United States jurisdiction. That's what they're saying. Right? So if you look at right now, if you look at the node tracker after moving to proof of stake, the United States supposedly has about 46% of the nodes. Then you have Germany, about 19%, and Russia, Canada, blah, 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 right? But if you look at it, the United States is still below 50%, right? So majority of the nodes running Ethereum today is still outside the U.S. But because Gary sees the United States processing or having at least 46% of the nodes and potentially processing 46% of the transactions, somehow that gives them a right to just take control of the entire network and say anything that runs on top of Ethereum is within your U.S. jurisdiction and within the jurisdiction of SEC. That is what Gary is saying, which I don't know if you could just make that declaration. First of all, I don't think so. And second of all, it's not that the United States owns more than 50%. It's not majority, right? So the majority of it is still outside the U.S. And even if the majority was in the U.S., that doesn't mean automatically that you just declare the whole thing belongs to the U.S. So what Gary is doing is claiming that Ethereum belongs to the U.S. And second of all, because it belongs to the U.S., then it's a security, and then he is in control of it. Basically, that's what he's declaring. So I don't know if anyone's going to challenge this, right? Obviously, Ripple is trying to, right? The CFTC recently is coming out and saying, we want to be the crypto watchdog. We don't want the SEC to take over, right? But in the meantime, Gary is just like, you know what? Since no one's going to stop us, we're just going to do it right now, right? We're going to just go wait until someone challenges us. So we're just going to declare it. So it's quite disturbing. It's a very disturbing declaration, and I don't know who's going to challenge it. If the CFTCs go challenges, because CFTC already said Ethereum belongs to us. If Ripple's go challenge it, because Ripple's trying to prove themselves not being a security, or XRP is not a security, and they didn't sell XRP in an illegal token sale, right? Because they're a commodity, and they're trying to use Ethereum as evidence, right? But their SEC doesn't want to give them evidence. So if this is the case, then Ripple loses automatically, right? Because Ripple is trying to use what SEC declared before, use that evidence and testimony from the prior director, why Ethereum was a commodity, right? Why it was declared a commodity, and Ripple wants that evidence so that they can use that for their defense. But if SEC now is claiming Ethereum as a security, then Ripple has no defense. Ripple is out of luck, right? So yeah, this has broad implications, very broad implications. So every single project that is on top of Ethereum basically can be declared a security and can be declared within a jurisdiction SEC, even if they didn't have a token offering, even if they're truly decentralized, even if the founders have no share, right, of the tokens, never sold it. Just the fact that they're processing their transactions on top of Ethereum gives them the right to control it. Think about that. So let's see if SEC is going to go after anyone else next, because right now, they're secretly attacking a lot of projects right now. So we'll see who's next on their radar. But right now, we need someone to stand up against SEC and against Gary at this point. If you're looking to buy Bitcoin and crypto for the first time and you don't know where to get started, head over to CryptosRus.com and click on the best exchange guide. Within, you'll find a list of exchanges that I recommend and some that I use on a daily basis. So if you want to learn more, head over to CryptosRus.com or utilize the links in the description of this video.